Hello, everybody. You've tuned in to the Indiana State Police Roadshow, brought to you by the Indiana State Police Alliance. Cops for Kids, a subsidiary of the Indiana State Police Alliance. I want to thank them for their continued support of the Indiana State Police Roadshow. I want to thank my friend, colleague, and videographer for the Indiana State Police, Tom Trial, for putting us on YouTube each and every week. Make sure that you visit the Indiana State Police YouTube site to see a lot of old films, a lot of things that Tom has dug up from the archives of the Indiana State Police, and some new stuff that he puts on there each and every week about the department. With me today, I have a guest that's been here with me probably about a year ago this time that we've been talking about this. It's something that's January is Human Trafficking Awareness Month. And with me today is Master Motor Carrier Inspector District Coordinator Kimberly Hill. Thanks for coming back, Kim.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you being here and talking to us about this. I think it was probably about a year ago that we talked about this. I believe it was. About this time that we were talking about human trafficking, and something that the Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Division of the Indiana State Police is working with, and their objective and their initiative of what they're doing. But give us a little bit of background on Kimberly Hill. How long have you been with the Indiana State Police, and how did you get involved with being with the Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Division?
I've been a motor carrier inspector for 22 years.
Okay.
I started in the Versailles District. I'm still in the Versailles District. Now I'm the supervisor over both the Seymour scales and the West Harrison scales.
So you, what's your primary job there that you're doing now?
Supervising both scale houses. I got 2 units at each.
Okay.
At each facility.
Is that the civilian units that you're
Yes.
over there? Okay.
Yes.
And what's their primary job? What do they do?
Doing truck inspections.
They're at the scales.
Yep. Size and weight enforcement, as well as federal truck inspections.
That's a fairly new scale down there, isn't it?
The one in Seymour, we officially started our first full day on December 1st.
Wow.
And we've been running full days since then. So
is that something that was a time that'd been under construction there for a while, hadn't it?
It had been under construction for a while. It was initially slated to be opened in September.
Okay.
Some typical construction setbacks, and we finally got open December 1st.
Now, tell me a little bit about that facility. Is it one of the new ones where you got a place to pull the trucks in out of the weather and look at them? It
is. We have obviously a scale in the front where we weigh the trucks. It's sorting the trucks out on the interstate, so we're getting an approximate weight of the trucks out on the interstate.
Now, how's that work?
We call them weigh in motion scales.
Okay. So
that gets an approximate weight of the truck and then determines whether or not that truck needs to come into the scales for further inspection.
Is that under the pavement? They have something there that do that, or?
Yes, it's built into the pavement. I don't exactly understand all the technology, but they're able to do that at highway speeds.
Wow.
And
then determine whether that truck needs to be looked at further.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
About 5,000 trucks a day go north on I-65 around Seymour.
Wow.
So we're weighing all of those. Granted, we're only there for about 12 hours of that, but we're weighing trucks 24 hours a day. So
yeah.
And then at the facility, we have an inspection bay where we have a pit that we can walk underneath the truck to do our truck inspection. And then we also have a performance-based brake tester that allows us to actually test the braking efficiency of each brake on the vehicle.
What's your average time if you have a truck pull in and you do a full inspection on what time are you talking there?
Right around an hour.
Okay. And
sometimes a little more than that, but usually about an hour.
And does that involve paperwork and mechanics of the vehicle?
Yeah, we're checking. Well, the hour will get us through, completing the paperwork, checking the vehicle, checking all the driver's credentials, checking the driver's logbook, or the electronic logbooks now.
Yeah, I was going to say that just changed here recently, didn't that?
That did change. December 18th was the electronic logbook mandate for the whole country. So,
how do you find that? How's that going? Are they adapting to that very well, or? It's
a learning curve for both the trucking industry as well as the officers.
Okay. But do you find it more efficient? Is it going to be something that probably like us writing tickets? It's going to be the old written hand tickets are going to, gone by the wayside, and they're all done on a computer now. So in a few years, we're going to say, why did we even think about doing it on paper? Do you find that's going to be the idea?
We're not there yet.
Right.
We're having the growing pains of that right now. So it'll take us a while to get there, but I think eventually it'll be easier for the officers.
Is part of this? I know sometimes truckers would have double logbooks. That's going to eliminate that.
It's going to eliminate them saying that they're somewhere that they're not, because the trucks are being GPS tracked.
Ah, okay, that's amazing. Wow, good things to learn about our trucking industry and how you guys are working with that. But we're talking today about the human trafficking enforcement and kind of what you guys are doing, this initiative, this Great Lakes initiative. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
We've been doing like tri-state details where with us, so Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio, all the state police or state highway patrol agencies, focusing their commercial motor vehicle efforts for a week at a time, typically one detail a quarter,
Okay.
On different aspects. In 2017, Illinois came on board, so that's when it got its new name as the Great Lakes Commercial Vehicle Initiative.
Okay.
And so in January, we do the human trafficking awareness, where we're passing out materials on human trafficking, mainly the Truckers Against Trafficking, which I hope to get to talk about a little bit later here. In the spring, we'll do an off-peak enforcement. Not the hours we normally have the scales open. So we may be out there on the weekends or overnight,
Okay.
working a third shift kind of thing. And then in the summer, we do just general driver safety and driver awareness enforcement during the peak travel times. Fall is a hazardous material focus. And then in December, we do another driver safety, just doing driver checks, focusing on the driver aspect of the inspection and about winter driving safe habits.
Well, we talk about this human trafficking that you guys are doing this initiative on. Is there more than one type of human trafficking?
Yeah, there are two types of, I'm sure there are more than two, but there are two general categories of human trafficking: sex trafficking and labor trafficking. Sex trafficking being that somebody's forced to perform sex acts through force, fraud, or coercion. And then labor trafficking is where they're getting their labor or services for little or nothing, again using force, fraud, or coercion. So essentially modern day slavery. It's just a matter of what the person's being forced to do.
So the labor trafficking is something that we may have generally heard as sweatshops or something like that.
Yes, there was a recent last year. There was a labor trafficking bust near us in Ohio, in central Ohio, at an egg farm.
Okay.
Where there had been some folks brought up from Guatemala to work the egg farm for little or nothing and being housed in terrible conditions.
So are these people promised the life of America and come and prosper, and then they get here and this is what happens?
Sometimes it's people being brought in from outside of the United States, but as far as sex trafficking goes, 83% of those victims are found to be United States citizens. So
really,
it's not it's less likely that they're coming from outside the United States than one might think.
So what's their agenda? What are they looking for then that they get caught up in this? They're being promised the world, and somebody's making the grass greener on somewhere else than where they're currently at. And often that's our teenagers that they're preying on, and teenagers don't always think that they have the greatest home life, no matter how good it actually is. Right.
And so these people prey on that just normal teenage mindset.
So if that maybe they're not getting the attention at home, maybe they're haven't got the best life at home to start with, and these people start paying attention to them and give them a little extra attention and the promise of drugs, alcohol. Does that play a part in it?
I think that plays more of a part in keeping them than, and maybe keeping them under this person's control.
Right.
But to get them in, I think it's usually probably money or gifts, electronics, promise them an iPad and be amazed how many people you could get for that.
So how widespread is this? Is this something that's everywhere?
The approximately $150 billion industry
Really?
a year.
Wow.
So to put that in perspective, in the 2015 numbers, that was more revenue than was generated by Google, Starbucks, Nike, and the NFL together.
My goodness.
Yeah, so those are some pretty big names. Second only to the illegal drug industry. So yeah, it's pretty widespread. Of course, that $150 billion is a worldwide number, so it's not just in America, it's worldwide.
Right.
A worldwide issue. There's human trafficking cases that have been reported in all 50 states. 27 million people are estimated to be victims of human trafficking.
Worldwide.
Yes, worldwide.
That's and it's probably more prevalent even outside the United States.
I'm not sure what the comparison is, where the United States falls in the worldwide numbers.
Okay. So, are children affected by this more, or is there an age group that we're looking at?
14 to 16 years is estimated to be the average age that children enter the sex trafficking world.
Portion of it.
Yes, and 1 million children are estimated to enter the commercial sex trade annually worldwide. So that's huge.
That's a big number.
Yeah. In 2016, there were at least 178 known cases of human trafficking in Indiana. I don't know how much of that was sex trafficking and how much of that was labor trafficking, with victims as young as 7 years old.
So what you guys are doing is making the public more aware of this during your initiative. So what's something that the general public can do to help you out?
I think just to be aware of the signs and so I would, when I do programs, I like to make it personal. So I like to tell you to, watch out for the young people in your life, and be aware of their internet and social media, texting, phone use. Did somebody buy or do they have a second phone from somebody that you don't know who that is? Know who their friends are. Maybe be wary of older boyfriends or girlfriends.
Okay.
46% of human trafficking recruiters, so the folks that are reeling these people in, are known by their victims.
So the people that are talking to them, making them feel good,
Yeah.
are the ones that know them the best. Yeah. So how did the Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Division get involved with this?
The Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Division got involved in it through Truckers Against Trafficking, and they're doing some amazing work. They were established in 2009 and their whole mission is to educate, equip, empower, and mobilize the trucking industry to combat human trafficking as part of their regular jobs. There are approximately 7 million people in the trucking industry.
Wow.
And they're traveling all over the country. And so they see more than the average person. They're the eyes and ears of America.
On the highways, yeah.
So
you're talking rest stops, truck stops, those kind of places that generally there's right there or right there off the highways.
Correct. They're seeing all that, the activity that's right there off the highway.
Yeah.
And so that they, if they see something, then being encouraged to say something.
Well, we're down to our last minute here. I want to get this www.truckersagainsttrafficking.org. They can go there and find more information about this. Also, www.traffickingresourcecenter.org also has information on that. So some good places to go to look for more information on this. But Kim, thank you for coming in and talking to us about this. We appreciate all the information you provided and that you guys are going to be out this month and this week to let people know more about human trafficking.
Yes.
I appreciate it very
All
much.
right.
And again, thank Kimberly Hill, the Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Division of the Indiana State Police. She's a Master Motor Carrier Inspector with that division. They're talking about human trafficking and the Commercial Vehicle Enforcement Division of the Indiana State Police. We'll talk to you next week. Roadshow out.